Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show. Well, there are three matches which are to be covered today, so I'm going to be pretty quick and I won't be getting into the details. I'm just going to briefly touch on those matches. So the first match that we are talking about is between Australia and South Africa. As you know, Australia the other day had put up a very good score of 482 for 5, but today they succumbed to the South African pace bowlers and they were all out for 550. So they couldn't add much. In fact, it was only thanks to James Pattinson, who slammed 42 of 35 balls, 4 fours and 2 sixes, but he played some very good cricketing strokes. He creamed steam to extra cover. He hit some two lovely sixes over the top. One was a swept shot, another was hit over the deep for another six that was of Imran Tahir. And Imran Tahir continued to struggle. In fact, he had a very real tough time in this particular innings, where Imran Tahir's 23 overs were taken for 180 runs. And Maury Morkel was the one who finished it off with beautiful figures of 30 overs, 5 maidens, 146 runs and 5 wickets. Michael Clarke was out for 230 with 44s and 1 6. His middle stump was uprooted by Maury Morkel. Other than that, Matthew Wade was out for 6 to the bowling of Morkel. Siddle was gone for 6, and as I said, Pattinson was the one who really gave Australia a chance to go past the 500 mark by slamming 42 runs. Ilfan made a duck, and Nathan Lyon was not out on 7. As far as South Africa were concerned, as I said, there's a feather bed of a track. There's nothing in it for the bowlers. It's all for the batsmen to show lots of application and really apply themselves, and that's what precisely the South Africans did. In fact, Graham Smith has taken immense advantage out of this pitch, and he was unbeaten on 111 runs in a South African total at the close of play on the second day at 217 for 2. So that's a good reply from South Africa. They do have the follow-on target in mind, that is 350 is to avoid the follow-on. So Graham Smith was looking good on 111 unbeaten runs with 12 boundaries. So a lot of application shown. Alvaro Peterson, it was a good opening partnership by Graham Smith and Alvaro Peterson for the first wicket. They put on 138, but before Peterson was run out for 54 with 7 boundaries. Hashim Amla was a very unusual victim. In fact, Hashim Amla definitely missed upon a big opportunity here because Hashim Amla tried to take David Warner a bit lightly when David Warner was introduced into the attack, and David Warner picked up his wicket as Amla was stranded outside the crease, and Matthew Wade was the one who whipped off the bails, and he was gone. Stump Wade bowled Warner for 11 with 2 boundaries. Jack Rudolph was giving company to Graham Smith, not out on 25 with 2 boundaries. I'm not going to go into the bowling figures today. Briefly, just the wicket taker was Warner, 1 for 27. Other than that, Alvaro Peterson was run out. I'm not getting into the bowling figures today. There's absolutely no time. As I said, it's a feather bed of a track. There's a lot of runs in this particular wicket. Now, the next match that we are looking at is the match between India and England. Yesterday was the first day of the second test match between India and England. At stumps on day 1, I would say the honours were even, with India finishing up 266 for 6, but definitely for India there were a lot of positives. Virendra Sehwag in his 100th match failed. In fact, in the first innings, he probably has another crack in the second innings to hit a century in his century of matches. In fact, Virendra Sehwag made 30 runs. This was played at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, and definitely, as you know, in Wankhede Stadium in the morning there's some moisture. It really helps, and that's what precisely James Anderson did. James Anderson got an in-swinger going, and Gautam Gambhir was sent to the pavilion. LBW bowled Anderson for 4. Virendra Sehwag contributed 30 runs before being a victim of Panesar, who was selected today, and he showed why he was missed in the first test match by picking up marvelous figures. He was responsible for India being reduced at one stage to 169 for 6 at one stage, where Monty Panesar had bowled 34 overs, 7 maidens, 91 runs and 4 wickets. He bowled superbly. In fact, the ball that he bowled to dismiss Sachin Tendulkar was a peach of a delivery. It was pitched outside the leg stump. It turned a long way, and Sachin Tendulkar's defence was really breached by Panesar, and Tendulkar's off stump was gone. In the sense, he hit the top of the off stump, and Tendulkar continued to have his problems, and now on a very consistent basis he's been getting clean bowled by Panesar, which is not good news for India. But the other good thing for India was Cheteshwar Pujara, who is there. But before that, let me tell you, Virat Kohli was out for 19 of the bowling of Panesar. Yuvraj Singh was clean bowled with Graham Swan for a duck, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni also gave the wicket to Panesar. It was caught by Swan of Panesar for 29 with 4 fours. And India were really reeling at that stage, 169 for 6, and it looked whether India would what is going to be the fate of India. But Cheteshwar Pujara once again, he has been a lot of a puzzle for England. England have been finding it very, very difficult to. There's a big price on his wicket now, and Cheteshwar Pujara yesterday went on to get another century. He was unbeaten on 114 with 10 fours. Tremendous application, tremendous strokes. I think he's really becoming a real substitute for Rahul Dravid. But what was a good thing about this knock, from 169 for 6, India reached 266 for 6 at close of play, thanks to Ravichandran Ashwin coming in. As you know, he made a century against West Indies, as you would remember. But today he was he was unbeaten on 60 valuable runs of 84 balls with 9 fours, and that is what enabled India to finish at 266 for 6. So Cheteshwar Pujara at stumps, 114 not out of 10 fours. Ravichandran Ashwin not out on 60 with 9 fours, taking India to close at 266 for 9 on the first day of the second test match at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Anderson, 14 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 49. But Panesar was the pick of the bowlers, 4 for 91, 1 for 59 for Swan. And Stuart Broad continued to have his problems, even though he got a wicket, which probably gave a little bit of assistance. But Stuart Broad was still, once again, absolutely odd in his line and length. 12 overs, 1 maiden, none for 60. Now we go on to the next match, and that match would be West Indies versus Bangladesh. Now West Indies versus Bangladesh, as you know, Bangladesh yesterday, West Indies were the ones who resumed at the overnight score, and as far as West Indies were concerned, it was real pounding for Bangladesh, because West Indies have already taken a lead of 177 runs. They finished at 564 for 4 on the third day, in fact it was Darren Bravo getting to his century. He made 127 with 10 boundaries. Marlon Samuels continued his great form in 2012, and he made 260 runs with 31 fours and 3 sixes. And Chandrapal, contrary to his normal way of batting, yesterday batted in a very, very aggressive, nice fashion and contributed 109 runs with 10 fours and 1 6. Dinesh Ramdin was not out on 4 at stumps, and Chandrapal was on an unbeaten 109. And Bangladesh have a real work to do here. 564 for 4, they are 177 runs ahead. And Ghazi toiled hard, 49 overs, 4 maidens, 143 runs and 2 wickets. He continued to be impressive as far as his bowling was concerned. Now, as I said, today I'm really short of time. This is a very quick report. I'm wrapping it up right now due to shortage of time. Thanks for your company, and thanks for watching Cricket Happenings. Your host Ram, returning you back to the studios. Thank you.